to the football fever. It's the Buckeyes versus the Badgers. Welcome into another edition of our show. I'm Kellyanne Stitts. New year, same crew, breaking down this highly anticipated rematch between Ohio State and Oregon in the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. I'm Kellyanne Stitts, joined by former Buckeyes Ben Buchanan, Obi Stillwell, and Jay Richardson. He defended himself. I'm the resident Bobcat. I'm just going to rip off the Band-Aid too. But I'm all neutral today.
Wow.
You look sharp though, Obi.
Thank you. You all.
Today, he's just focused on leading the Buckeyes to victory in their first Big Ten championship appearance in 5 years. I caught up with Julian about this opportunity and more, but first, I asked him about his reaction to learning about his OC, Brian Hartline, getting the head coaching position at South Florida.
Hopefully none of that anymore. While the Buckeyes currently hold a 10-game win streak over the Badgers, with their most recent win in Camp Randall coming in 2023, with 11 current Buckeyes playing in that game. And back-to-back road games for the Buckeyes means back-to-back weekends of travel for our Dave Holmes. Dave's also been to Camp Randall before. Dave, what's the atmosphere like out there in Madison?
Discuss what scares us about this top four matchup against Penn State. For me, it's the health of the offensive line against this Penn State pass rush with a boogeyman coming off the edge in Abdul Carter. Defensive lineman Donovan Jackson stepped up in multiple ways this season. He answered the call when Jack Sawyer recruited him to play one more season together to accomplish something special. He stepped up when injuries hit the offensive line, moving from guard to left tackle. And no one is more proud of his effort, his dedication, and leadership this season than his mother.
Hey, looking at number 4, even if he does have a man hanging on him, is either a PI or he makes a play. Yes. The last time Smith played the Ducks, he ended with 9 catches for 100 yards and a score. This guy right here. We just saw that face mask against Colt McCoy from the 2006 game. Jay, you were the first to get on the Buckeyes about penalties, and rightfully so. They should be playing disciplined football, but I think it's because you had to learn from your lesson, right? Is that why you're trying to make up for that? Coach Day's side, Lorenzo Styles, should be good to go today against the Badgers, which means Jermaine Matthews will shift back to corner, but Matthews played very well at the nickel position with a strip sack and a deflection that led to an interception. Ben, what did you like about Maine's versatility, and do you think we could maybe see him slide back into position moving forward?
Coach Day, they're not gassing him up, but giving him his roses. There's a lot of mutual respect between these two head coaches.
I was thinking, 1988. You weren't even born yet, huh?
I was not. Were you in high school?
You know what? A singer deserves a singer.
Donald Tate has missed 3 straight games with an undisclosed injury. Jeremiah, he was questionable against UCLA, and then he missed last game against Rutgers. What was interesting is Ohio State started the day with them as questionable, and we have a questionable character behind us as well here right now.
I think they'll find the end zone at least once, but yeah, I think they'll
against
find the
this
end zone.
defense.
Yeah, because they were really good, as Ben mentioned, dual-threat quarterback and Parker Navarro. Ohio State in the past has struggled sometimes with mobile quarterbacks, so I think he'll be able to find the end zone maybe once on a rushing touchdown. Nitpicking here, I think we can all agree that we have been very impressed with Julian
It's
Saints.
a good problem to have when you're nitpicking like that, right? It's a good problem to have.
What kind of Big Ten battle you want to see?
Dave, I went a little bit more of like Game of Thrones style, and I picked Rutgers Scarlet Knight versus USC's Trojan. I feel like that would be a very entertaining matchup, but I will say this. I know a few of our friends here picked Purdue Pete. He would run the table in the Big Ten. I'll just say that. He is scary when y'all see him. Before he became a Buckeye, he was like this close to becoming a Badger.
Everything I had was Badger my whole life.
Carson Hinsman grew up in Spring Valley, Wisconsin as a diehard Badgers fan.
Every birthday I had, my mom would like paint something on the windows and stuff like that, and she'd always like paint like Bucky Badger like on the windows, and we'd like do like dresses up and stuff like that. I mean, I dressed up as like Wisconsin Badger fan my whole life. I always carried around a Wisconsin lunch pail like until I graduated high school.
Carson carried his Wisconsin lunch pail and went to work on the football field to become a 4-star prospect and the 3rd-ranked player in the state of Wisconsin. His accolades at St. Croix Central High School earned him an offer from his favorite school.
You know, one night, like we were coming back, I think it was from like one of my sister's games or something like that. We were in the car, and I was almost committed there. You know, I was like, well, let's call him. And it was like really, really late or something like that. And he didn't, I don't think Coach Rudolph answered at the time. Or I was like, maybe I'll think about it the next day. And the next day, I think we called him. I was like, I was just thinking about something or something like that. But then it kind of went on, thought about it more, and obviously committed here.
Carson was close to committing to Wisconsin, but he had a change of heart. And his heart took him away from home to a place that felt like one.
It was different, but I think it almost felt more like home than Wisconsin did at the time. And obviously, you want to be part of a winning culture, and that's what we had here. And if you want to be the best, you got to be able to play with the best. So, I mean, that was a big pull.
Saturday will be his 2nd time returning to Camp Randall as a Buckeye, but this trip is different because Carson is playing with more confidence.
I'm just excited to go and play with a lot more confidence than I had back then. I have a lot of trust in what we got going on here right now, and as an O-line group, and obviously got a lot of trust in our backfield. So I'm excited to go, put on the field, make it happen.
Carson is excited to play in front of his home crowd. He says he has somewhere between 30 and 40 tickets reserved for family and friends for today's game. Now, coming up on the Football Fever, after 12 seasons in State College, James Franklin is in need of a new home. The second most winning coach in Penn State's history has been bought out. What the future holds for the man who can never win the big one. That's next.
Notre Dame, though, Dave, they pride themselves on playing man coverage, and JJ welcomes the opportunity to win his one-on-one battle.
Couldn't have read the story any better. You guys are now one of the best teams to play in scarlet and gray. How does that feel?
And it feels amazing.
One thing I love about this team specifically is, guys, they're still very hungry. They've put that national championship in the past.
Yeah.
Ryan, they talked about this week how they have that chip on their shoulder. They wake up, they are hungry, they are motivated. You see that in practice, and this team is still forming its identity, but they have an edge to them and this competitiveness to them that's really exciting.
We have so many